This is Sujay Maheshwari, and thanks for tuning in into Scale to Zero podcast. I have a very dear friend and almost my mentor in today's episode. He is Faraz Khan.
I never had planned to go into sales. I had never planned to go into IT. I had never planned to even leave my city. I went into one of the craziest time, 2008 crash, and I was selling to investment banks. And investment banks were like, that person cares about me and he hears me out. He at least knows my problem. And that's what makes a great salesperson. Successful company doesn't automatically make successful salespeople. A successful salespeople makes a successful company.
Wow.
Does it change the way seller is selling? No. Does it change the way buyer is buying? No. But it changes completely because end of the day, AWS is a customer obsessed company. And whoever I have partnered with, I see that. But if you have marketplace, you can just release an offer sitting in India to an Australian customer on their account ID. End of the day, marketplace is like implementing a new CRM system. If you are able to close out of that 20, if you're able to close 5 deals in next 3 months, that's a result. There was a time when distributors used to think, oh, if marketplace comes in, we're not part of it. No, distributor are our core.
I want to request you, if you can, any latest creation which you would like to read for us. Hi everyone, this is Sujay Maheshwari, and thanks for tuning in into Scale to Zero podcast. I have a very dear friend and almost my mentor in today's episode. He is Faraz Khan. He is an experienced general manager with an extensive enterprise on-prem and cloud experience, leading various sizes of digital transformation for all kinds of customers, including large enterprise customers. Currently, he is responsible for AWS Marketplace adoption for customers, channel acquisitions for reseller business, and ISV partnerships on AWS Marketplace. Welcome, Faraz. So nice to have you on Scale to Zero.
Yeah, thank you, Sujay. It doesn't look like a podcast because it feels like I'm talking to a friend. So it's like like my anxiety is down. This is the first time I'm giving a podcast, so thank you very much for choosing me, and thank you very much you being there because it makes my job easier. So I'll be as honest as possible and bring my like experience at the table as transparent as possible.
100%. Do you even know what an anxiety means? I don't think you even know, right? I remember our first meeting, and folks had told me that, oh, if you want to get into the AWS ecosystem, marketplace ecosystem, there's this guy called Faraz based out of Gurgaon office. You need to meet him, right? I remember my conversation with folks in Mumbai when I was talking to them. And you're like, yeah, let's meet at a lunch place, let's talk over lunch. And you took me to a very nice Indian sort of restaurant, right? We had biryani, and I still remember that afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So I was anxious then. I'm like, who is this guy? I've heard so many things about him. So thanks for being that cool person in the room. I want to let also the audience know that we have not scripted this, so we don't even know how long this will go.
Yeah.
But I want to start with something. I want to take you back into your days at Bhopal, your days of schooling. So when you were growing up, did you even know that you would be into sales? You would be working for this construct which you are in right now? How was that
Yeah.
like?
So the thing is, in that way, I usually call myself a God's child because the reason is that whatever I had planned ever for myself, it never happened that way. and whatever was supposed to happen, it was destiny. And because it happened for good, so I attached that destiny with, like, there's somebody who's taking care of me. Because I never was in that I never had planned to go into sales. I had never planned to go into IT. I had never planned to even leave my city. And so these are three plans which I had that I'm sure I don't want to do. But exactly all that three happened. The first job, the campus interview I had, I got a job in NACIT, which I never wanted. That job was in Mumbai, which I never wanted, because, like, I remember people, like, going in, like, crowded, locals, starting their day at 3 a.m. Mumbai life is crazy. I like, no, I like, because there is a fun thing about Bhopal, and, like, people, how differentiate is Mumbai has a sea which it always keeps moving, and Bhopal is a city of lakes which are always still. So I am that city place guy where I want to be as still as possible, but I was never still. Worked in, like, 5 cities in India, based there. Worked in 5 continents. Worked in 4 different countries. So just opposite happened, but whatever happened happened for good, and I'm very thankful for whatever has happened. So I'm a child of luck. So that's what I am. Yes.
So well put. You are very humble, Faraz. Uh, I know in your journey you also happen to live in the Middle East, Dubai
Yeah.
specifically, for a very long time,
Yeah.
almost like majority part of your professional career, if I'm not wrong, you could have
Yes.
spent
Yes.
there. Tell me about how did that happen, and then you moved back, right? So we'll talk about that as well. So how
Yeah.
was and you were part of Oracle, right? Such an
Yeah.
amazing organization again. Uh, Curious to know what learnings you had around sales and relationships and partnerships there. So if you can help me learn from
Yeah.
there, yeah.
So good part is that my career is zero interview career. Like, I have, wherever I have got a job, I've never given an interview. It's always a relationship. Yeah, there was a process. Somebody needs to interview me, but there was never a process where I applied for something. Some HR called me for something and said, like, we want to set up, and it never happened. Somebody called me and said, I want you to work for me, and that's how it happened. So even Dubai happened that way. I was with Oracle India. Somebody, like my ex colleague, he moved to Dubai with 3i Infotech, and he said, "Would you love to come to Dubai?" I never, like, that was like too far away, because I was working in the US market, but not moving there, but traveling back and forth. But the thing is, I was in Bangalore, and my city is Bhopal. At that point of time, there was no direct flight, so I had to go to Mumbai or Delhi and then connected flight to Bhopal. So what that guy said is, like, for us, it anyways takes you 11 hours to reach your city. How about you take the same amount of time to reach your city and you don't pay any taxes? And I said, "Oh, that sounds good." Bangalore to Bhopal, it changed to Dubai to Bhopal. I used to, so that's how it happened. Then with 3i Infotech, I went into one of the craziest time, 2008 crash, and I was selling to investment banks. And investment banks were like, I was going to them and they were like, say, for us, we just lost $1 billion today. And that's how it happened. So I moved to a company called Epicor, which was one of the ERP solutions and
So back to
company.
IT, sort of.
Yeah, yeah. So ERP solutions, back to that. And then I closed one of the biggest deals against Oracle. It was a short Oracle deal, but then we ended up taking it. Epicor, nobody knows. And you know how my, again, interview was? I was called, like, we want to hire you. The leader of Middle East Africa gave me 5 minutes. He said, you closed the deal against my best sales guy. I said, like, I don't know what to say. Yes, it happened. And he said, okay, you're hired, go. So the thing is, that's why I landed in Oracle. Good part is I got an exposure in selling Oracle Fusion Cloud because it was just introduced, and it was a great opportunity to do that. But I'll be very honest with you, sales was never my forte because, like, I don't know why, but that's something I never got into that. So I was more into the relationship, making a bigger impact. And 16 years I did sales. I closed some great accounts, but within me, I was like, no, it's not making a bigger impact. And I cannot just concentrate on 4 accounts, 5 accounts, how to make it big, how to make a bigger impact. And that's why after working around Oracle, starting a company with one of the persons, but it was still about a very limited impact. And somehow, like, I'll be very honest sharing with you, I was not a great sales guy. I was like,
We'll,
okay.
we'll come to that. We'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Yeah. So that's
We
how-
somehow we need to pull that thing of humbleness sort of thing, right? But I want to. You mentioned few things, and I want to pick on those now. You never thought of sales. You never were into sales. What happened? Where did your hiring manager identified something in you, or you said something in a conversation where people felt that you can be trusted with a deal of this size, right? You mentioned about how at Epicor, like, you won one of the largest deal.
Yeah.
So do you still remember about that, and what do you think changed it? So I want to address two things here.
Yeah.
How does a leader identify, and now that you have been in the leadership position, how do you identify that this person is a sales guy? He may not know, but this person can do sales very well. Let's start with that.
Yeah, so there are two things which actually makes you a great salesperson. One is that you have a passion for what you're selling, because that passion resonates. Because if I just go ahead and if I'm not convinced about what I'm selling, I can never identify with the person across the desk. Second is that I should have a great listening capacity. So these are the two things which makes you connect with people. So end of the day, if you look products, IT products, every day there is a new product coming in, new technology coming in, and it is not at all in the capacity of a customer to keep changing every day.
Correct.
But what they do is they when they sit in front of a salesperson, they end of the day connect with that person, kind of start trusting, and start seeing that, oh, that person cares about me and he hears me out. He at least knows my problem, and that's what makes a great salesperson. And that's what actually even my managers would have thought, that because end of the day, I I can build trust because being very transparent, telling the real thing, which actually comes sometime against your sales job, because sometimes you don't need to be like as transparent possible. Maybe we'll come to that discussion later why I didn't like it. But the thing is that once you are like a compassionate enough, listen to somebody, understand, passionate about what you are bringing on the table, that's the mix you need to be a salesperson. Perfection overloaded, and you can take it ahead with that.
Super.
Yeah.
Super. Wow. I think I have been reading a little bit about sales because I don't come from a sales background, right, as you know. And the listening part which you said, I think that is the real deal here, where I've had some conversations where I told the prospect or the customer in front of me, like, you don't need this. What I'm selling, you don't need this. You need something else.
Yes.
And this person was shocked, like you're saying no to business. I'm like, no, you will churn.
Yeah.
Right. So I that's a great lesson actually. Tell me, like, if you still remember that Epicor deal, tell me what you changed? Like, what happened there? What was your magic there? Like, what worked out?
Yeah, so the thing is that I had recently joined Epicor, and this was the deal given to me that, oh, this is like a $3 million deal, which Epicor you was like signing like close to like 150K average deals then. $3 million deal, and it's against Oracle. And just imagine when we won that, I'll not tell you the full flow, but when I'm sitting with the IT head, he over a drink, he said, Faraz, you know why you won? And I'm like, you should tell me. He's like, there were 16 people which came from the competition, and
And
from your side there were only two, you as a salesperson and your pre-sales. End of the day, but the thing is, we are engineering people, we are not technology. So in showcase a technology, if you need 16 people, just imagine to implement that technology, how many people and effort gonna get required. With you, you made it so simple, one person sitting. All it was a 3-day workshop for each of them. There was a third party who created an RFP and evaluating. They said, for us, like, we were anyways very conscious, like, oh, so much effort is going into it, we are engineers, not IT people, and you made our life simple. And that's why we were it from the start itself. Just 16 people going out and 2 people coming in, that made us think that, oh, this is something which we can control, this is something which we can trust, and there is not 16 people to go to, there is only one person to go to and make our life easier. So that's why we chose us. So we listened to them, we made it simple, we made it just like a ground level work rather than showing them the stars and the clouds, which they look exciting, but I don't know about them. So that's what made the difference.
my
Yes.
God, oh my
Yeah.
God, if I wouldn't have asked this question, we wouldn't have uncovered this, because sometimes people think that, oh, maybe they were looking for a cheaper solution, or maybe they were looking for a better support kind of thing. But in this case, it was a very simple optics. Like, you are absolutely right. Like if I were to buy, for example, this recording software which we are using to record this podcast, and if 5 people come and they try to sell me this, I'm like, my God, looks like this is a very difficult thing to manage.
Yes. Yes.
I will have to have so many people, like, from my side to take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The messaging can be taken from the physical presence of like the team. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Uh, going ahead, I'll actually go back to my previous question, because I just remembered something. Let's say I'm starting new in sales.
Yeah.
It could be right out of college, where I don't have any technical background, or I could be a tech guy, which where I don't want to continue on my tech journey and go more on the sales.
Yeah.
And what traits you could look for in these folks? Like, what's something which, again, how will you identify? Because maybe you are a young Gen Z sort of generation, you don't have that patience to listen, but again, as a manager, what would you look into them, and how would you coach them? How would you make sure that they understand that this is how you should conduct yourself?
First thing first, that the capacity and urge to learn. That's the first thing which I would see in somebody. That if somebody says, be very transparent and say, I'm there to learn rather than I'm there to prove. Because there is nothing to prove right now. You're just out of college. You're there to learn. That's the first green signal to it. Second thing is that what is your persistence to learn? Like, for example, if somebody is learning and they take a book and in 5 minutes they throw it out, it's like, oh, it's too difficult. So that persistence, learning first, the persistence, and the third is passion to solve problems. Like, that's the third. And overall, like, I think sales is also a bit about a hint of money covered over it. So my manager used to say is like, for us the only thing you need to bring is the urge to make a lot of money. That will take you to the next level. So like it's a very, not a very heavy blanket, but a very light blanket to be successful, to enjoy the money, to because there is a pressure which comes along with what all you're doing, and
Absolutely.
that can be compensated with the kind of money you are making. You being like an entrepreneur, you run through a pressure, but end of the day there is, I know it's not 100%, there's a bit which says, oh, my company valuation or my revenues, it's going up. It kind of give, that compensates it, not the main motive but a compensation motive. That's how it is. So these four things makes a real salesperson and can make him or her successful, and along with that makes the company successful. So a successful company doesn't automatically make successful salespeople. A successful salespeople makes a successful company.
Wow.
So that's what is the reality. Yes.
Wow, that was deep. That was very good. That, yeah, absolutely right. Again, as a technical founder, and I'll keep repeating this. I know how difficult is to give away this avatar of like technology led thinking sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And products can be built. It's not that difficult to build products or technology, right? And I'm not undermining, underplaying on that, but sales is equally hard,
Yeah.
right? Because on technology front you are dealing with some innovation, maybe a machine, but here you are dealing with individuals and organizations and their idiosyncrasies, and you don't know what's going on in their backyard sort of thing, right? And you have to make that relationship. So you were doing very well, I believe, in Dubai, and you mentioned there was a slight hint earlier that you were doing sales, but you were not as much enjoying it, I guess, because of the impact you used few times. Tell us what happened. Like, how did you made your way back to, I guess, the alphabet now? So you started with B, Bhopal, Bangalore. You went to D, Dubai, and now in Gurgaon, G. So we are still at G right now. So there are many more alphabets waiting. So tell us what happened, right? How did this all come about, particularly coming back to India and taking this role? And I want to talk about this role in detail, but how was that like? And when was this, like 2018 or 19? 22. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right after
May
COVID.
22, I landed here, so it's exactly like 3 years now. So the thing is that, see, there are multiple things which happened which made me plan India, because like for Dubai people, coming back to India is like you have lost everything. Like if you have stayed in Dubai, you can never stay in any other country. Like I've seen people hating even staying in Singapore, like because
Wow.
like they said, like life is so easy in Dubai. The food, the cars, the gas price, no taxes makes life perfect. So it was not an easy decision, and it became more difficult because I have two daughters who was born and brought up in Dubai. They loved it. They had their friends there. My wife loved the place. So it was a difficult decision, but a lot of things, it was not like I should say that it was only one factor. There were multiple factors. One was that I was thinking, like, to be honest, I will be very honest, like, I was never very successful in sales because I was too transparent, that urge of like money and like to hustle, too transparent. So end of the day, this is something which was missing in me, and I was not happy or not very successful. Though I closed some great deals, but that continuous, and plus I didn't want it to continue doing when I turned like 40, 45, because the kind of pressure, the kind of things you have, that's one thing. Second thing is, I lost like 5 members of my family during COVID, and my uncles, even like my cousins, my real sisters, nobody is in India, and they were not even able to attend their last rites. So I had that thing. Luckily, my parents survived, and I was like, I want to be close to them. good. I was about to leave everything, go to Bhopal, but my wife suggested, in 15 days you'll get bored of it. You will regret of not working, because Bhopal doesn't have that corporate life. So she said, we go to India, I'm agreeing, but get a job. And luckily, I would like to thank Ish. He had some position, and this is exactly what I always wanted, marketplace, because it was about hundreds of customers, thousands of ISVs, thousands of channel partners, distributors. So you are making a bigger impact. You're not running deal by deal. You can afford to lose some, just being truthful and transparent, and said, I'm going to take it. So I joined as a channel partner development person, where CPPO, as we call it in marketplace thing. And then slowly I took over the ISV business, and slowly, the sales guy, which was hiding somewhere in me, again got me the customer advisory bit also. So I have managed all 360 degree of marketplace, and given a 3-digit growth from when it started till date. So yeah, that's how it is.
It has been a very blessed journey, which we all know, right? Folks who know you, who would listen to this, they would absolutely agree. They are nodding right now, I'm sure, and who don't know would definitely want to talk to you. Uh, how much did you know about AWS Marketplace when you were taking this role? How much
Nothing.
of you did not?
Nothing.
You,
No, the only thing I knew was like it brings all these three parties together. The first offsite attended, they were like, AWS is about jargons like CPPO and MPPO, and I was like, my manager at that time, Jamie Devar, he's like, Faraz, how did you like it? I said, sorry, I didn't understand 90% of it. And he's like, oh, like, it will take some time. You'll come to know about it. So yeah, I knew the 36,000 feet view, but when you get in, it's a much more complex world. But the thing is, like, slowly, because the passion was there, when I started my conversation, to be successful in any job, the learning and the passion, that was there, and that's the reason. I It would be very easy to claim, and I'm proud of it, that in all of AWS globally, I know most of it rather than any single individual, because I have done every aspect of marketplace, even the taxation side. Now India Marketplace is launching, so even starting from day one, marketplace operator launch. So the thing is, I'm very proud that I know more than anybody else on marketplace right now at AWS.
I was just taking a note of something you said, and I'll come back to that later.
Sure.
No, for sure, right? And it doesn't feel like you have been with AWS and the marketplace team just for 3 years. For the impact is one thing, but the knowledge, the depth, the complexity, and the various permutations and combinations which you have handled is very insane, I would say, right? To at the speed which you could get these opportunities, and you could learn, right? You started, you didn't know anything about AWS Marketplace, you kept learning. So if somebody were to join your team, or if you were to explain this to maybe an ISV, ISV is a product, any software company, if I want to put it simply, if you want to explain them what is AWS Marketplace, and I've heard this in one of your presentations in the past in Bangalore, how would you explain what AWS Marketplace is? And so and then we'll double down, because I want to focus this part of the conversation a lot now on about AWS Marketplace and what it is all about, from your lens.
So to be very simple, like, like I tell the customers and they really like it. It's a very simple thing. For example, you go to a shop, and you'll like a shirt, You select the color, you select the size, you asked about the price. The relationship is directly with with the seller. But the moment they talk about payment, like instead of paying cash, I tell them I use my credit card. Can I swipe my credit card? So, does it change the way seller is selling? No. Does it change the way buyer is buying? No. But it changes completely because end of the day, instead of managing that post sales work of managing the cash, depositing in the bank, collections, even like before going, should I withdraw cash? All that goes away. So it actually operationally it makes the experience seamless without changing a company way of buying, without changing an ISV cell of selling, without changing anything. You are operationalizing it and making it simple for somebody to procure and keep a record of what they are buying, when they are buying, how much did they buy. There is a complete record which comes in. So that's the simple way I can tell about a marketplace, that it brings everyone together without changing the core of selling, buying, reselling. But what it does, it operationally makes life simple, and could do that. There are individual benefits, customer ISV. We can talk about it later, but hope I'm clear enough in putting it across how marketplace works.
100%. Yeah. I mean, this whole construct of, because I've heard this in the past, and it was even my expectation
Yeah.
when my startup CloudNX we got listed on marketplace, or we were given a suggestion not by somebody at AWS but somebody else. My thinking was that, oh wow, maybe I'll be getting a lot of leads, and of course, right, over time we learned, not over time but pretty soon I guess, that it's an operational efficiency engine
Yeah.
versus anything else, and it brings, as you said, a lot of more things to the table for everyone involved, all the stakeholders. So right now, uh, if you were to coach,
Yeah.
and we can pick any persona, we could pick either ISV,
Yeah.
or we could pick a system integrator, SI, a services company, a consulting company, as different names there.
Yeah.
Why don't you pick any one? And if you were to coach them, their management, how to be successful on AWS Marketplace,
Yeah.
if you want to bullet it out, maybe two or three things, how would they go about it?
Yeah. So the thing is, see, AWS is a customer obsessed company, and whoever I have partnered with, I see that perpetuating even with with the ISVs. So whoever I'm sitting with, I always start with the customer story. What's in it for the customer? So, for example, a customer is buying, an average size of customers buys at least 30 to 40 ISVs. 30 to 40, something in security, something in horizontal business applications like CRM systems, service systems, security systems, endpoint security, data, observability. But like every average size company buys 30 to 70, 30 to 40 ISVs. Just imagine 30 to 40 ISVs has to they have to manage around 30 to 40 bank accounts to pay those ISVs. Some has INR payments, some has US dollar payments, some has euro payments. You have to pay into different currencies, pay in different countries. You don't understand what are the tax implications. Does it attract withholding tax? Does it attract GST? So the plus you want to buy an amazing product which is not even available in a country. So how you would be able to register that product, because you don't have they don't have right documentation to register in, for example, a public sector customer. So what it brings, it makes life easier for a customer, that you have to manage one bank account and maximum of 12 invoices, because some invoices going to be monthly, fall into end of the month. Some invoices going to be annual, again fall in end of the month. So all those invoices get into one. You make one payment for every ISV that get disbursed. You have a better visibility of what you're buying, how much are you buying, what is your spending. Plus, it gives you an opportunity to customers who are signing an EDP, a commit with AWS, they can retire that quota. So all that budget constraints and everything goes away. So
Right.
that's the reason it gives a single platform for a customer to buy. Now, going to the seller. Why a seller would be on marketplace is, first of all, they can utilize those EDP budgets. And sometimes customer says, "Oh, that's an amazing product. We like it, but we don't have the budgets right now." You can easily ask the customer, like, "Do you have like EDP budgets which you can consume?" And there could be a possibility. Second is for
So,
an
so sorry to interrupt quickly. EDP, I think you're talking about the commitment which the customer has already done
yes.
to AWS that I'll buy this much of AWS. So yeah, so it's a commitment, and I did not use that money only to buy AWS. I can use it to buy which is available on AWS Marketplace, right?
Yes,
Perfect. Thank
yes.
you. Yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
And it would be one invoice. There would be a line item saying that this is for AWS consumption, this is for Cloud NX, this product, this is for this. So all would be line item wise. So this is for the customer, and it operationally makes it very sound. Now for an ISV. So ISV, first of all, you can utilize those budgets, make your deal size shorter, and then all that vendor registration and running behind that purchase order. Like I have seen in Dubai, like my salesperson standing in front of the finance guy's car because he's leaving at 5 and it's month end. He's like, "Sir, can you release that purchase order?" And he's like, "No, I don't have time. Something happened." Like, and you miss your deals. You don't need all that. No purchase order required. No running behind the procurement. Though procurement has a very strong role to play, but
Absolutely.
that operationally it becomes sound. Another very important thing is, for example, you are an Indian ISV and you want to test Australian market. To do your first deal, you need to have an office, a legal entity there. You need to have people who understand taxes. You need to have people to do a transaction there. So you at least need 3 months and $30,000 to $50,000 to do your first deal. But if you have marketplace, you can just release an offer sitting in India to an Australian customer on their account ID. They accept it. They don't. You don't even need a PO or vendor registration. They pay to AWS. AWS collects it and pay into your bank account. Why these are important in two ways. One, you want to scale in Australia, you can do that, see for a year how that market works, and then you can grow your team, test out that market without venturing into that market. Second, if that market is not right for you, for example, you enter into a country and you realize, I don't see a lot of potential there. So all that 3 months and $40,000 goes in waste where you have invested. But if you have used AWS Marketplace, you stop it. You stop it tomorrow and you haven't lost anything into that market. So it makes the scalability easier. It makes your operational investment low before even entering into a marketing and testing it out.
Right.
Another benefit is that whatever you sell on AWS Marketplace, AWS do a co-sell GTM. You were right when you said you cannot list a product and from day after tomorrow you will start getting leads. It doesn't work that way. But when you are an AWS Marketplace seller, you can actually get a lot of support from AWS in co-selling, defining your GTM, being part of their events, being getting access to their customers. For example, you have a great product and you sold to a telecom company. You want to enter another telecom company and do the repeat success, but maybe somehow you're not getting access. You work with AWS. If they're an AWS customer, get access through AWS Teams, showcase your solution, map the organization, and do your another sale, and do another sale and another sale. So that's why instead of hiring more sales and operation and lead generation, it becomes life become easier. You partner with somebody who have already sold, and you start doing your deals and get the benefit out. So more than leads and opportunities, you actually invest your time with AWS, do a co-selling and a joint GTM, and make it a successful engagement.
Absolutely. I want to pick one part of what you said, core selling, because at the end of the day, uh, any ISV or any partner, whether it is a ISV partner or a consulting partner, the end motive is revenue. How
Yeah.
can we go wide? But I think there's this thing called fail fast. What you were talking about, entering a market and not working. I think it is not just fail fast, but fail with minimum expense sort of thing as well, right? You don't have to go through the paperwork because it's extremely difficult to even dissolve a legal entity. You can,
Yeah.
right? Registering a company is one thing, all right. But if you have to like just wrap that operations up, it's another paperwork and another set of expense and pain you have to go through. So coming to the co-sell, and I'm very sure we could do like hours of discussion on co-sell, but I want to stick to one specific thing on co-sell. Again, I'm almost writing like a prompt, right? You are the Gen AI, like the LLM, the AWS LLM, and I'm sending you a prompt. So if you are a coach, again on the topic we are talking about, AWS Marketplace, and if you were to coach this young, when I say young on AWS in this entire journey, this company could be an established company. How would you help them understand the co-sell? How would they, let's say they sold to the first telecom, as you said, right? They did it on their own. How would they leverage this from here on? You mentioned a bit about it. If you can go deeper into it, because I see this too, where people are not leveraging this. So I want to hear from your point of view. How would you coach this team now that you sold to one telecom? We can do it more. How can that more happen?
Yeah. So, end of the day, marketplace is like implementing a new CRM system. So, from a management perspective, marketplace is important. But for a sales guy, how marketplace is valuable, uh, they realize it at a very later stage, because end of the day it's a nuisance for them. Because when first time I had experienced a CRM system, it was a pain for me to, like, I was happy going to a customer, doing my talk, taking my PO, come back. CRM system was a nuisance to me. Go put your entries in the CRM system, mature that deal 10%, 20%, 30%. So I was very happy doing my job, taking my order, and going back to sleep, making my money. That's what. But for an individual, it looks like a perfect solution. But if an organization is growing and they want to leverage and make life easier for them to grow, then marketplace has to be embedded within their system. So what I tell CEOs is that unless you don't ask your salesperson question. For example, you're reviewing your sales guy, you have forecast meeting. You're saying, oh, you're going to close 10. How many of them are AWS customers? How many of them gonna use marketplace? Can we leverage marketplace? You have a soft target, like instead of out of those 10 deals, you should at least sell 3 from marketplace. So that's why you are making your sales team realize the value it brings, bringing that thing into their everyday job, making them feel important because it is important to you. If you don't ask that question, it's not important for them. Make sure you ask that question. Make sure those deals get routed to marketplace. Once that happens, use your APN portal to log in into those opportunities, launch those opportunities. That's how you generate that visibility within AWS. See, I'll be very honest with you. A sales guy thinks like sales guys. If you go to a sales guy without anything and saying, let's work on marketplace, there are hundred of ISVs which are working, trying to work with them. What are you bringing as a maturity? What you're bringing as a maturity is you're using your APN portal, you're using marketplace to route some of your deals. You can make those connects with account managers. that account manager going to take you to his or her other accounts. That team manager of that account manager would recognize that, would take you to your other accounts,
Yeah.
and that's how it's going to be a geometric progression. So rather than just one day coming and say, oh, I listed on Marketplace, let's give me leads. No, it doesn't work that way. I'll be very honest with you.
Yeah.
It works where you bring in Marketplace motion as your core. No need to make it 100%. Nobody is expecting, no, every deal has to go through Marketplace. There could be situations where it goes direct, but try to create Marketplace as your go to engine, one of the options, and create recognition. And then to scale it, what AWS has done is you're not only dependent on account managers, there are PSMs, partner sales managers, who are only responsibility is to sell partner solutions. And they are not even coming to you and say only Marketplace. They want to sell those solutions. So you have at least 200 doors to knock, and the probability, just in India, and probability is at least 10 will open the doors and invite you for a coffee. 10 doors means at least 40, 50 accounts. So identify, understand the structure of AWS first. What are the segments? Because maybe you are knocking a segment which you don't have a solution for, or you don't sell it, your product doesn't work there. So first identify how AWS works. Majorly 6 segments: banking and financial sector, long tail, startup, global SIs, ISVs, telecom, media, entertainment, so and retail and corporate. So these are structure. Identify which was the one you want to target, map those peoples, start doing those deals through Marketplace, create that visibility, and boom, you are a great example. You have done exactly the same, and you have got that visibility where people call you as an example to speak about how to be successful on Marketplace. So like me talking, thank you for giving me a chance. Somebody can take a, say, civil interview with you, and you have done that in the past, and you can tell what it takes for a seller to be successful on Marketplace. So you already know about it. Yeah, so
No,
that's
no,
what.
but honestly, yeah, people do say that I have done it, but this is all because of champions like you, mentors like you, friends like you, right?
Yeah.
Who on the way said, no, this is not what you are doing it wrong, do it this way, right? I was just walking the path, that's all, really, right? The direction was important. Uh, I want to flip a part of this question now, because I've seen this pattern also. Because when I sit with my community, and when I say my community, I'm referring to founders or alliance folks, sales folks right now. There's a lot of skepticism that it doesn't work. You may have done it, but it doesn't happen. You got lucky, and I don't think so, right? If only luck could work, I things would have been so different. If you are sitting with now a skeptic, right? How would you give them maybe some metric to track? Say that, hey, why don't you try X for Y and measure this way? Or if you were to give them some framework to follow, or how would you? I don't want you to change their thinking, but at least help them lean in with an objective, experiment, and then they can decide. They can still say that this doesn't work, or they can say that, no, I found something new, I identified something new.
Yeah. So, very valid questions. The easiest thing which I would do to a skeptic is talk to Sujay Maheshwari. He has done that in the past. But he is like a live example. That's one thing I would do. Second is, what I tell them is there are some new ISVs which come, and forget skeptic. They don't even know about it. What I tell them is, give me your top 20 accounts, not leads, where you wish to. At least you're having some conversation there. Some deal or opportunity which is sitting at 30%, 40%. Give it to me. Select your top 10 or 15. I'll connect you to those PSMs and account managers, work with them, and close those deals. If you are able to close out of that 20, if you're able to close 5 deals in next 3 months, that's a result for you. So I'm not even talking about GTM. I'm not even talking about power of three. I'm not even talking about which gives me result in 6 to 9 months. I can give you result within 2 months. You give me a deal which is at 30-40%. I'll connect you to the account managers. I'll talk to the customer myself about the value of marketplace and things like that. And go, you're good to go. Try it out. And if you close 25% of it, that's a good enough result to actually realize the value of marketplace and how AWS support. Because why I'm giving 25%, I'm even sure about 75%. But why 25? It's the minimum thing which could happen. And the other thing is that they would be able to realize how valuable AWS support is. Because, see, it's very, I've been into sales for like 18 years. If I find out that I know somebody in an account who already have a relationship and doesn't collide with my functionality, it's an independent product, I for sure I can take help. I'll tell them, do you know Mr. X? Just put a good word for me. That's what we would be doing. Like put a good word for me because they are already an AWS customer. I am a proven solution. You're not being biased or anything. And just go ahead and take it forward from there. And I've seen situations where customer has said, for us, I have these two products which are equally good, but I'm going with this because it's on marketplace. It makes my life easier. So just imagine, even those conversations has happened, that just being on marketplace gives you an edge if you're equally good with somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say to a skeptic. Try it out, give it 3 months. Like what you said, how easily you can come out. I'm giving that ISV to come out of marketplace in 3 months if they don't like it. But I'm sure nobody has turned their back, and most of them are enjoying the benefits. Companies who have started new, companies who are proven their have a proven solution but new to India, new to Southeast Asia, and they have seen the results happening. So that could be very well.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I like that approach. I'll tell you why. Because it sounds like baby steps. It sounds like, oh, it's about 2 months. It's about these 5-20 deals as you were talking about,
Yeah.
like working with them. It sounds tactical. It sounds committable,
Yeah.
but it can have very tangible result, and then programmatically maybe then it can be replicated if that decision is being taken. What does a relationship look in AWS? How AWS is a very large organization. There are so many roles and all kinds of metrics sort of structure.
Yeah.
How do you maneuver this thing? Like there's Faraz Khan marketplace. There's there's head of this. There's PSMs. There's PSAs and PDMs. How do you, like, if you were not in Amazon, let's say you were to now step out of Amazon, but you know AWS, you know the structure. And I'm not saying or preempting that you should not continue in AWS. It's just that if you want to, you're part of again a partner team.
Yeah.
It could be any ISV or a consulting partner, and you want to manage this relationship, build this relationship, go make this relationship deeper. What does it mean? What are the few things somebody like us keep doing, like from a partner side? What should we be doing?
See, if I term it as a very simple thing, take it as your sales deal. You want to map an account. You need to find who gonna be your voice within the organization. It's again like it's a huge organization. I take it as a positive where you have much options to fail and many options to be successful.
Nice.
So if you have two people and you're knocking that door not opening, rather than 200 people knocking that door, the possibility of you making a relationship is much higher. So that complexity, I'll take it as an advantage. That that's first thing. Second thing is, look into what is your strength. Like, for example, in Indian culture, we go with a gift to somebody's house.
Right.
So for gift for an AWS person is the APN portal. How many opportunities you have in the system, how many deals you are nurturing and planning to close through marketplace. And if those deals are my deals as an AWS person, I'm interested in talking to you. Even if I'm not, if those are not my deals, I can at least tell, oh, talk to him or her, because most of your deals is in banking and financial industry. You should be talking to XYZ. This is the PS. If you're talking to a PSM, I can tell this is my colleague PSM who manage banking and financial. This is the sales team who manages that. So it's the maneuvering. But see, it took me 1.5 years to understand the full structure of marketplace. Full structure of AWS. So I'm not expecting you to learn everything. First, decide what you're good at. Start utilizing those portals, APN, Marketplace, to create that visibility. Because whatever you put on Marketplace or an opportunity, the AWS account managers and PSM are answerable for it. It's not that they're lying down. There is a review which happens. They should have an update about it. If there is a Cloud Linux opportunity sitting in the system for 90 days, I'm sure somebody gonna ask what is happening to this lead,
Right.
why it's coming, it's at 60%, what's missing, and I'm sure somebody gonna come to you and say, what is this opportunity about? So end of the day, you don't need to learn everything about AWS. First, learn about what you are good at. Second, learn about how the system works. Third is, there are multiple teams. There is a PSM team, there is a solution architect team, there is a sales team, there is a marketplace team, there is an ISV PTN team. So you have options to get in, or at least get a direction. Because see, how I work with AWS is, if I'm not responsible for something, my answer is no, I'm not responsible. It's never my answer. I will only give an answer where it says either I am responsible for something. If I am not responsible, Mr. X or Mrs. X is responsible for it, go to them. Then only I have done my job, otherwise I haven't. And that's how most of AWS thinks, where either it's my responsibility or it's somebody else's responsibility. I'm sure you would have hardly got an email, that's not my responsibility. If you would have always got a response that it's not my responsibility, but it is this person's responsibility. If you want, I can connect you to them. If you know them directly, go and talk to them. So that's how you knock the door. And that's what I told you. Do look at AWS also as a sales cycle. Map the account, learn perseverance. That's what I started with, and that's how it's going to work. There are structures to it, and you would find that success automatically.
Yeah, I think what if I were to underline, or I want to take away from this particular bit is, and I've seen this, I have witnessed this every time, because we do reach out cold, right, to a lot of AWS, whether it is partner sales managers or account managers or segment leaders. They have never said, like, take a walk, or I have no idea sort of thing. It's always that they'll ask some probing question that, hey, do you sell in this geography, this type of customer? And you could say that, no, we have not sold in this geography, but another geography we have sold, and like we would like to start a relationship here. There is always a direction we get. That direction could be difficult to walk on that, right? But there's always a direction. It's never closed doors sort of thing. And that's the beauty of a relationship with, especially working with AWS and AWS Marketplace construct.
True.
All right. I want to switch gears a little for us. Enough of Marketplace. What do you don't like about your work? What is something which you could, if you could change, you would love to change?
Uh, the Indian taxation system, if I need to change. That's the only thing I'm gonna change, because end of the day, I like each and every bit of it. There was a time when my managers, when I was not with AWS, they were like, "Where were you? What were you doing? Like, you should invest more time." Here it's just opposite. Like, I get a feedback is like, spend less time at work. Look, organize your personal life. So yesterday I was joking. No, this morning I had a call at 7:30 with Karthik, the GM for like global, and I was like telling him, it's like Karthik, marketplace is my first love. It's like, is your family listening about it? I said, they do, and they understand it as my midlife crisis, that I have another love, parallel love, rather than my family. So marketplace, I think that's one of the best thing which has happened to me. I don't want to change anything. The only thing, and which we are doing, is scaling marketplace. We are launching marketplaces in regions. Korea launches was one of the 15th launches which happened. India is the 16th one. So the thing is that what I if I like to improve something about marketplace, is about uh, being marketplace in every country possible, because it gives such an immense support to our sellers, to our customers. And plus, what I missed about and we just didn't discuss is resellers. It doesn't even eliminate the resellers. Like, if an ISV sells through a reseller, either a distributor or a channel partner, they can be part of marketplace. If a customer buys through a reseller, they can be part of the marketplace journey. So we are not eliminating even the resellers or the distributors. There was a time when distributors used to think, oh, if marketplace comes in, we're not part of it. No, distributor are our core. We work with our distributors through our DSOR model, through our CBPO models, and they are realizing that value, and they are being part of marketplace. So they are part of the game. Resellers, which manage like thousands of accounts of AWS, they are part of the thing. And we even allow resellers of ISVs who doesn't have to do anything with AWS, but they can still be a reseller on marketplace and can start reselling the AWS solution. And just imagine a reseller sitting with a customer and saying that I'm Palo Alto reseller. So, for example, it gives an understanding, oh, he's part of Palo Alto, but if I'm looking at a competition, you shouldn't be discussing that with that partner. But if you are a marketplace reseller, you say, you use whatever. I can resell you, because I can resell anything which is on marketplace with the right transfer price and things like that. So you become a more consultative partner rather than a sales partner. And just imagine an ISV utilizing existing AWS resellers in targeting those customers. So one more aspect of it get increased: PSM, AM, SAs, FLMs, and the distributors and the partners, because they have a strong relationship in thousands of customers. You can utilize that and start reselling. So that is something which is we are ramping up our CPPO motion, the reseller, and that's going to be a very, very major milestone moving forward, and it could be utilized in getting into marketplace and AWS customers.
Perfect. Yeah. No. This gives economies of scale in terms of like the distribution bit, right? Very well said. You India marketplace. You mentioned briefly about it, and earlier also we were talking about it. It's a public news, so we are not again talking about something which we don't know. What I want to know, if I were to make just a clip of India marketplace thing, right? This bit here. What would be the top three problems we will be solving with the India marketplace launch, specifically for the customers and for the partners, like both sides? What is the basic problem why AWS is putting, and it has not been an easy project or quantum of work. I know for a fact several years this has been in the making because of the complexity, right? And can you give some insight into how life would change starting October?
So the thing happen is that this all requirement actually came from customer. Like why India was prioritized against any other country, because India is a growing region. Marketplace was a requirement because the reason is that right now the billing happens from AWS Inc. Customer has to do a foreign remittance in US dollars. So that is this is there is not a clarity because the foreign currency is going outside the country. What is the tax implication for it? Nobody knows about that. The conversion rates keep fluctuating, the bank charges and everything. So it's always an issue when somebody is transferring money outside India, because the government regulates foreign currency. That's one thing. Second thing is that there is no GST invoice which gets generated. So GST is a big thing which customers need to claim in order to neutralize their what they pay and what they receive. And the third thing is a single bill, because right now a bill comes from AWS Inc. in US dollars. There's a bill comes in for AWS India Private Limited. So these two bills would get into one, and that's the reason this would benefit our customers to consolidate their purchases and make sure that they are paying one invoice, one transaction, local in a local bank account in INR. So that would be the beauty of marketplace launch.
We wish we had this as of yesterday, right? We all are hoping, we are all are waiting, and I know for a fact. You mentioned about Karthik earlier, right? His team is working very hard on this, and we are all eagerly waiting like this happens. It will make even lives of everybody involved, right? Not just the customer, their finance procurement team, but even the account manager, somebody like you, the partners themselves, right? Where we can, with lesser friction, if I can put it this way, right? Get onto this journey of faster adoption sort of thing, and more acceptance, right? This is pretty cool. So B Bhopal, B Bangalore, D Dubai, G Gurgaon. What's the next alphabet?
B again, maybe like going back to Bhopal. So, or another G, which is Goa. I don't know. So the thing is, my sister just shifted to Goa, so maybe it could be a possibility that I like that state. Sorry to call it a city. I like that state, so I don't know. But what's going to remain, I guess, for a very long time would be the A, which is AWS. So A would decide, is it B, C, G, D, A, whatever it is. So that's what it is right now. So that's the plan. Yeah.
Right. Well, every sentence and every word you were talking about, and especially if it was around AWS, you were beaming, right? You had that grin, that good, energy. So absolutely, I know you are enjoying your journey, especially the impact word, going back with what you said, right? I want to ask something quick here. What one part of your role you look forward to be doing every day? Like, how does your day look like when you get up? Like, what is it what you are expecting that I wish I can get this, like either more, or you want to do something repetitive?
Uh, yeah, so my day on work starts at 7:30, because usually the I'm part of the APJ team, so Australia starts, and there are some calls which happens, and some day usually ends at 9:30 p.m. In the night. Sometime I've put an alarm at 1:30 or 2:30 a.m., where like there are some calls which has to be done because it's US PST time or something. So I have to do that. So, but every day is a very exciting day. I want to be like right in front of my laptop responding. The first seven, from 7:30 to 8:30 usually goes in responding to my emails, because that's the time when nobody calls you and you can concentrate there. From 9 o'clock, the call starts. And the thing is, uh, I remind every day myself, can I say no? Start learning to say no to something, but I'm not able to still till date. Not I even within my heart, I want to learn to say no. So whether it is an ISV calling, whether it's a call with internal stakeholders, whether it's call with ISVs, whether it's call with the customers, like that's how my days goes, and I want to make sure that I make everybody marketplace journey easy, and that's what it goes. So that's the reason I was able to learn just by solving a problem. Actually, you can learn a lot of things just by taking the responsibility. Oh, I'll get that, figure it out for you. So the moment you're figuring it out, you're also learning. So next time maybe you don't need to go that path and just answer it right away. So that's how my day looks like. It's calls and calls and calls. And the other exciting bit is travel. Like I, I was in Bali for a speaking assignment at HCL. I was at Singapore. Then I was supposed to be at a lot of places, but due to my situation, I was not able to travel. But the travel bit, meeting a lot of people, getting a lot of respect and love, making amazing friends like you. So that's what keeps my day alive, and that's what makes me keep running and getting more for AWS Marketplace. So that's what my day looks like. Yeah.
Sounds like a very blessed journey opportunity, and I think it definitely originates from you within, right? Everything which you are doing. I want to put you on spot,
Yeah.
and I want to do something very unconventional. I know you write
Yeah.
poems and you write some amazing Shayari, as it is called, right? While we have been speaking in English for the last 1 hour 10 minutes, I want to request you, if
Yeah.
you can, any latest creation which you would like to read for us, and you take a minute or two, but and it need not be one. If you have been enjoying after writing, that thing of your creation, and you have hundreds of them. We also know that. Uh, Please, like if you can read that out for us, and if you want to explain, right, because it is Urdu, not
Yeah.
everybody may even understand the meaning of it. So if you want to then explain, we would really, really love to listen to that. And while you are doing that, I want to repeat again this. Uh, when we reached out from Scale to Zero to Faraz that we are doing this podcast with him, we told him that, hey, we are not going to tell you anything about what we are going to talk. But he had to get some approvals from AWS, so he had to mention something. So we said, yeah, we'll only talk about AWS, Marketplace, and a bit about sales kind of thing. I don't think he had a clue that I'll ask him to talk about his creation.
I can like if it's an English podcast, if you allow, I can tell one of my English ones. So if you allow that, so
Irshad. I don't
yeah.
know what's an equivalent of Irshad in English, but I would say just please go ahead. Indeed.
Yeah, so it goes like that. It seems walking towards the prison cell. Why the things I do seems to fail. Surrounded by the fear of darkness, every bit of me is in a state of stillness. The air around me seems so humid. It's that tear which fell when I got stuck with the Cupid. The cold prison bars have frozen my blood, and I fell on my knees with a loud thud. The creak which came from the prison door passed through me, leaving a bore. I sat leaning with the damp wall, like playing alone in a huge opera hall. In my dream, I saw a body dead who died fighting for a loaf of bread. I was woken up by a ray of light which came through me as through a small hole upon my right, and day by day I used to wait for the morning sun. Every bit of it was so much fun. I used to play hide and seek with a fellow. It was no one else, just my own shadow. I realized life is about what you have. It's nothing to do for what you crave. And one day I walked out of the prison cell. Oh, the world seemed so beautiful, which I used to call hell. So,
Beautiful.
so this
Beautiful.
is
This is actually what reflects. This is what is you, right?
yeah.
This is like Faraz is not trapped into that prison cell, right?
But like my fundamental is if something goes up it goes down, so bad days can stay but it's not going to stay forever. Good comes, and bad days makes you realize how a good day is a good day and a very good day. So that's how life is all about. So you need bad days as a background to make your good days feel very good. Yeah.
Very warm. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You would like to read more something maybe on in Urdu? If you have something, I don't want you to.
Yeah, I can. So I'll let you know the meanings of those words. So कभी लफ्जों की बारिश, कभी सांसों की हरारत. हरारत means warmth. कभी लफ्जों की बारिश, कभी सांसों की हरारत, कभी होठों की जुम्बिश. जुम्बिश is like shaking. कभी आंखों की शरारत, कभी बिछड़ने की मायूसी, कभी यादों की मदहोशी, कभी इंतजार की तशवीश. तशवीश मीन्स एग्जाइटी. कभी हवाओं की सरगोशी मीन्स विस्परिंग. सो कभी इंतजार की तशवीश, कभी हवाओं की सरगोशी, कभी ख्यालों की दस्तक, कभी दुआओं की इनायत. इनायत मीन्स ब्लेसिंग. कभी जिल्द की लमस. जिल्द इज स्किन, टच इज लमस. कभी ख्यालों की दस्तक, कभी दुआओं की इनायत, कभी जिल्द की लमस, कभी खानदान की रिवायत ट्रेडिशन. कभी रूठने का दस्तूर, कभी मनाने पे मजबूर, कभी आफताब की शिद्दत. आफताब मीन्स सन, शिद्दत मीन्स इंटेंसिटी. कभी अलविदाई की मुद्दत. अलविदाई इज सेपरेशन, मुद्दत इज ड्यूरेशन. सो कभी रूठने का दस्तूर, कभी मनाने पे मजबूर, कभी आफताब की शिद्दत, कभी अलविदाई की मुद्दत, कभी कुर्बत का सुकून. कुर्बत इज क्लोजनेस. कभी कुर्बत का सुकून, कभी लहजे का लिहाज. लहजा इज प्रोनाउंसिएशन, लिहाज इज रिस्पेक्ट. कभी कुर्बत का सुकून, कभी लहजे का लिहाज, कभी सहर की नज़ाकत, कभी उम्मीद का परवाज. परवाज मीन्स फ्लाइट. सो कभी गुर्बत का सुकून, कभी लहजे का लिहाज, कभी सहर की नज़ाकत, कभी उम्मीद का परवाज. मेरे उन्स तेरे कितने हुस्न. उन्स इज लव. सो मेरे उन्स तेरे कितने उन्स. Kun fayakun fayakun. So like it's the creator who creates everything. So that's what it is. Yeah. So it's the like this is a poetry regarding like different moods of your life, different experiences of your life. So but it all I'm kind of a religious person partially. So like I believe a lot happens, so that's what it is. So yeah, that's something, a small one for you.
Very brilliant, very brilliant, very good. Thank you for sharing that. I have one last question.
Sure.
Anything you are reading, watching these days? Anything interesting which you will even recommend? Going back to how you have, you can relate this, like sort of passing on to somebody who would want to learn from you, or maybe you
No,
have read in the past.
I'm still learning. To be honest, like I haven't got time for last 1 or 2 years to read anything. But the thing is that watching, most of the time, I'm like watching some like very village related web series. like the Nawazuddin Siddiqui type. So that's what I'm watching these days. To be honest, I cannot even recall the name. You know the reason why? Like my memory is crazy right now. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. Suits was something which is one of the English web series I have to finish. I've completed like 3 seasons already, so I have to start that. So that is something actually gives me a courage to speak your mind even at work, because we are always like, as Indians, we are always taught as like never say no or respect your
Right.
seniors and always give in. But the thing is, like, that's not the case anymore. Like, I teach my kids to say no even to me. So like suits is something I which gives me that courage to speak your mind at work, and it has helped. So that is something which is important. Yes.
That's a good one too. I,
Yeah.
I, I had also enjoyed watching that. Although I couldn't finish myself, I
Yeah.
watched few seasons, but it was very well written and very well done. So
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
good
I
one.
understand that. Yeah.
Super. This I We could talk all day, hours, right? But we have to be respectful of your time, and you have troves of information, troves of love, troves of helpfulness for us, for everybody, right? Who works with you.
Yeah.
You have touched so many lives. I know uh, in the ecosystem, in my journey, when your name comes, I know what. How respectful and how thankful they are, and we are thankful for today for your time and all your insights in our conversation. So thank you very
No,
much. It was lovely speaking to you.
same here. It's like there is a lot of respect and love for you. Wish you all the success. If I can be of any support, I would do that. So best of luck to you, your team. You're doing a great work. So success is inevitable. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll
Okay.
see you.
Take
I'll
care.
see you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. See you. Take care.